primary mission is to promote education of beekeeping and to everyone and their importance, how they operate, what they do, what they look like. One of the prime things that we always joke about is if it flies and it stings, it's not always a bee. Okay? There are hornets and wasps and everything else, but they're not always honeybees. The other thing that we always teach the public is that those big gray nests in the trees, not honeybees. No, they are wasps, and they're nasty. Stay away from them, especially the children. At the Marshfield Fair, we have a display of several of those paper hives, plus some wild hives and regular Langstroth hives, to show the public the difference between what is in the wild and what beekeepers have in those hives and how the bees operate. The bees are definitely a matriarchal society. The queen, of course, being the primary person. We always laugh at some of our observation hives. We mark the queen so the children can find them. And they always want to know, is that the way, last year they were green, how come they're red this year? Well, we mark them so we know the age. But what do you mark them with? Well, paint, nail polish. And then we just say, it's good to be queen. Queens have to have nail polish. But she is much bigger, but there's only one. And what boggles the children's minds, of course, is that she's the only mommy in the hive. And there's 70,000 bees in a hive. The majority of them are female. They are the workers. The drones are the males. They don't do anything. They don't feed themselves. They don't groom themselves. Their only function is to make a virgin queen. And so every day they fly to some gathering place. And the virgin queens know where these places are and fly through them. Once the virgin queen is mated, she goes back to the hive. The drones that don't mate will go back to hives. But in the fall, of course, the girls get even. You didn't do any work. You didn't produce any food. And you kick them out. And so, it's mainly the girls are in the hive for the winter. The queen, and some people will say, well, if they kick them all out, then how do you get more bees and things? In the comb in a hive, certain cells are larger. The bees have built them larger. And those are drone cells. Usually they're down in the bottom corners. But the queen knows when she backs into a comb, a cell, to lay an egg, she sort of measures it. And she knows whether she has to lay a female worker or a drone egg in that cell. It's a very complicated society. And despite our opinion, they don't need our help. They've been doing it for thousands of years. They have found honey in the pyramids, capped honey that is still good. Honey doesn't go bad if it's capped tightly. Never goes bad. And so, we think, oh, well, we'll just manipulate the hives and we'll move things around and we'll help them out. They don't need it. But it sure is fun watching them. They have many jobs. The girls have many jobs in a hive. They first hatching, they become cleaners. They clean their cells. They become nurse bees, guard bees, queen attendants, and their last job in their life is forager. They're going out. They live about 6 weeks in the summer. They literally fly their wings off. They wear their wings right out. Because according to all the scientists in the world, bees are not supposed to be able to fly until they found out how they fly. They don't just flap their wings, they create a vortex. Their wings go, they rotate their wings, and they create a vortex that lifts them off the ground. And that's how they can get up with loads of nectar, pollen, and all that kind of thing. If you want to learn about keeping bees, you don't have to at the end, but if you want to, the Plymouth County Beekeepers has a bee school that we run from January to April. And the topics range from just an introduction to what is going on, to the honeybee life cycle and organization of the colony, to nectar sources and honey sources, diseases and pests that plague the honeybee, the hive construction and what is needed, how to manage a hive in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, and in the winter. Mostly in the fall. And then there's a lot of boners and pitfalls that we have all gotten ourselves into. Like one fellow said, before I knew better, I did this. But now that I know better, I don't do that, but I still did that. So we all go through the ups and downs. And we talk about honey, the harvesting and extracting of honey, and also how to install your bees into your hive and the sidelines of candle making and things, cooking with honey and all of that. So, Joe, you said you had some bee school
Yeah.
things? Okay.
Application.
There are some folders over there if you want, and if we run out, I have a card, and just leave your name and whatever, and we can mail you one if you're interested. Or pick it up at the Marshfield Fair and come see the observation hive, which is in glass. It is a working hive. The bees are going in and out, and so you see them do their little dance to show the other bees where the nectar is and the pollen that they just brought in. You see them storing, you see them transferring, you see the queen laying. So it's quite an interesting thing because it is in glass so that you can see without getting stung. Famous last question of the beekeeper. Have you ever been stung? Yeah, I'm afraid so. It comes with the territory.
Question, how do you move a hive of bees?
What they do is they wait, very carefully.
Yeah, really.
They wait till night, till all the foragers are in. They block the entrance tight so they scrap. If you know you're moving them frequently, they have pins.
Well, like to the fair, like you bring them
Okay, what we do is we block the entrance, scrap the parts together, move them at night, put them in where they're going to be, like in the screen house, unblock the entrance, and unstrap it so that we can take it apart. But that's how they're moved. And then to take them home, we would just reverse the project, wait till night till they're all in.